The woman you choose shapes the man you become. She shapes your peace, your purpose, and the direction of your life. But most men do not think that far. As long as she is gorgeous and charming, the rest is work in progress. So they choose fast. They choose with their eyes. And a few months later, the home feels like a courtroom. The vision is gone, and the man who was full of purpose is just trying to survive. Proverbs 12 verse 4 says, "A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bones." Decay never announces itself. It just works quietly until something collapses. Scripture names 7 women every Christian man must avoid. 1. The strength thief. At first, she feels like a gift. She is drawn to your vision, your drive, the thing that makes you who you are. And her attention feels like confirmation. You think, this woman sees me. She recognizes what I carry. That is exactly the problem. She does see it, and she wants access to it. She gets close, closer than anyone else. And through that closeness, she begins to study you. What drives you, what weakens you, where your strength comes from. And when the time is right, she drains you before destroying you. You will not notice it until it is too late. Judges 16 verse 20 records the most heartbreaking line in Samson's story. He did not know that the Lord had departed from him. He woke up thinking he was still the same man. He was not. Delilah did not just take his hair. She handed his strength to his enemy while he slept in her lap. And he had no idea it was already gone. She uses intimacy as a door, and she walks out with your strength, your vision, and everything that made you unstoppable before she arrived. How to spot her. She is more interested in what you carry than who you are. Her questions circle your gifts, your influence, and your access. And she will stay close to the source until there is nothing left to take. 2. The subtle controller. She does not look dangerous. She looks strong, decisive, confident. The kind of woman who gets things done. You think, finally someone who matches my energy. She upgrades me. But strength and control are not the same thing. And this woman's strength is pointed in one direction, toward you. 1 Kings 21 verse 25 says, "There was never a man like Ahab who sold himself to do evil, urged on by Jezebel his wife." The word is urged. She did not overpower him. She wore him down, decision by decision, conflict by conflict, until his authority was a title with no substance behind it. 1 Kings 22:37 says, "Ahab died in battle." A broken king who never recovered what he surrendered, one quiet compromise at a time. How to spot her. She hates it when you make decisions without her input, even where she is not involved. She is arrogant, entitled, and wastes no opportunity to belittle people she considers beneath her. If you feel like a passenger in your own life, she is already driving. 3. The character assassin. At first, she is flattering. She notices you. She makes you feel chosen. The attention feels good, but beneath that attention is a self-interest so strong that it overrides everything, including your reputation and your future. Anytime she cannot get her way with you, she targets your character, your integrity, and your reputation. She does not move on. She retaliates. And she does it by rewriting the story. You become the problem. She becomes the victim. And she tells it first, so her version is already established before yours has a chance. Genesis 39 records that when Joseph refused Potiphar's wife, she took his cloak and used it as false evidence against him. He said no. He walked away. He did everything right, and it still cost him years in prison. She is not after you. She is after what benefits her. And the moment you stop being that, she destroys you. How to spot her. Every ex wronged her without exception. Every ended friendship was entirely the other person's fault. Her version of events is always seamless, always delivered fast, and always positions her as faultless. You are one disagreement away from becoming her next villain. 4. The patient destroyer. She seems emotionally mature, composed. She does not overreact. She handles things with a calmness that feels reassuring. You think, this woman is stable. She is not stable. She is waiting. Mark 6:19 says Herodias nursed a grudge against John the Baptist and waited for her opportunity. When it came, she used a birthday celebration, a daughter's dance, and a king's pride to produce an execution without raising her voice once. Nobody in that room knew they were part of her plan. The word is nursed. She kept the offense alive deliberately, fed it, tended to it, because she was not just hurt. She was building towards something. This woman is a long game. She will smile through seasons that offend her, store every grievance you never knew she was keeping, and when the stakes are highest for you, she will act. The damage will be real. Your reputation, your relationships, your stability, dismantled by a woman who planned it long before you knew there was a problem. How to spot her. She resurfaces old wounds at moments that hurt you most, never randomly. She pulls others into your private conflicts without appearing calculated. She rarely states what she wants, but consistently produces it. 5. The faith suppressor. She does not oppose your faith. She comes to church. She does not argue about God. You think, she respects what matters to me. But respect and shared conviction are not the same thing. And the difference only becomes visible when your faith costs something. The moment worship gets inconvenient, the sarcasm appears. The quiet coldness. The look that communicates you are being too much about this right now. Nothing is said directly, but the temperature in the room drops every time God asks something real of you. And gradually your spiritual life gets smaller. Not because you stop believing, because her approval quietly became more important than your obedience. 2 Samuel 6 verse 16 says, "When David danced before the Lord with everything in him, Michal watched from the window and despised him in her heart." Not embarrassment, despised. And verse 23 adds, "She remained childless to the day of her death." A woman who despises her husband's worship does not build a legacy. She will not build what God is trying to establish through you. How to spot her. She engages faith when it is social and disappears when it demands something real. She argues practically against decisions God has led rather than praying about them. If your prayer life, your worship, and your obedience have decreased since she arrived, do not call that peace. Call it what it is. 6. The quiet usurper. At first, her ambition is magnetic. She is focused, driven. You think, this woman is going somewhere. You want to build with someone like this. Then your growth starts to outpace hers, and the relationship changes in ways you cannot quite name. Your wins are tolerated briefly before the conversation moves on. Your vision becomes a footnote in a story that is increasingly about her. Proverbs 14 verse 1 says, "With her own hands, the foolish woman tears down what could have been built." She does not need an enemy. She is one. 2 Kings 11 verse 1 records that Athaliah destroyed her own grandchildren to clear her path to the throne. Ambition without the fear of God does not pause for sentiment. It removes whatever stands in its way, including the man who thought he was her covering. How to spot her. She belittles the achievements of others. Everyone else is fake, corrupt, or undeserving. Only hers are genuine and earned. Watch her when there is nothing to gain from being kind. That is when her real character shows up. 7. The unfaithful woman. She does not feel dangerous. She feels like an answered prayer. She appears in your most vulnerable season and fits into the exact space something has been missing. And once she has your trust, she uses flattery, physical closeness, and early intimacy to pull you into sexual compromise. You thought you were building something. She was dismantling you from the beginning. Proverbs 7:21 says, "With smooth talk, she led him astray." Persuasion so precise it feels like truth. Her victims are not weak men. Verse 26 adds, "They are strong men who believed desire was something they could manage." They could not. How to spot her. She shows up in your lonely seasons. She accelerates intimacy faster than the relationship can support. Flattery comes early and often, and beneath everything, your spirit keeps saying no. Do not ignore it. Verse 27 warns, "Her house is a highway to the grave." The man who walks in feeling chosen walks out stripped of what made him worth choosing. This is not a case against women. God's design for women is one of the most beautiful things in all of Scripture. But there are women who derail a man's purpose. Scripture reveals these women and their patterns because God does not stay silent about what can harm you. Proverbs 18 verse 22 says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." The word is finds. Finding means you knew what you were looking for, and equally important, you knew what to avoid. If you recognize any of these patterns in your current relationship, take it to God first, then to a pastor or trusted counselor who will tell you the truth. Stop carrying this alone. Loneliness is a season. A wrong covenant is a lifetime. Do not let desire move faster than discernment. If this helped, share it with a brother who needs it. Subscribe for more content that builds you as a man of God. God bless you. Stay in the Word.